Hey friends, Ash here with Gents, and today I'm going to be checking out this one, Amouage Interlude Black Iris. And I'm a little bit late on this. Most everybody else has gotten their reviews out already, but that's okay. I'm just fashionably 5 months late. And this video, I think I'm not really going to have as much editing or anything. And going forward, I'm going to be trying to do some more, not necessarily off the wall stuff, but some things that I may not normally cover, and then just do a quicker edit job on them so I can get those videos out. So I'll be doing that with this one, and I'll try to cover some more indie fragrances, niche fragrances, and things like that, and get those reviews out kind of as a bonus video when I put them out. So I'm not saying every day I'm gonna have 2 videos. That's not gonna happen. But there will be some days where I put out 2 videos, and in that second video that I put out for that day, it's going to be me talking about things that are maybe more under the radar a little bit. And that's what we're doing here, even though this is actually not really under the radar. But you kind of get what I'm talking about. I did a review not that long ago on Bottega Veneta Illusione, and similar kind of thing there. Anyway, enough of that. In this video, we're gonna check out this presentation. I'm gonna break this fragrance down for you guys and let you know what I think about it, whether this is good, or maybe I'm indifferent on it, or I don't really like it. So let's jump into this. I'll leave a link in the description for this fragrance and the original Interlude at Twisted Lily. They're an authentic niche dealer, and you can use my code GENTS10 for 10% off if you do make a purchase there, and that's not just good for these, it's good for everything on the website. They didn't sponsor this video, they didn't send this to me, but I know they carry it, and this is not at discounters yet, at least to my knowledge. So essentially, just save yourself 10% is what I'm saying. All right guys, first up, let's check out this presentation. Now, this comes in your standard Amouage Man box, where you lift from the top, and then the bottle actually sits right inside like that. On occasion, when I've purchased these bottles in the past, it's come loose in transit, so do be aware of that. If you hear it rattling around in there, be careful the first time that you open the box up. That way the bottle doesn't take a tumble. Now I gotta tell you guys, I love the style of this box, the artwork, if you want to call it that. So it's really reflective, as you can see right here, and that's all the way around. It looks great. It really does. It's better looking in person, I would say, than it's coming across right now. On the front of the box, you've got the name of the house. You have the name of the fragrance. On the top, you have Eau de Parfum Man, and then that artwork wraps around, as you can see there. On the bottom, you have your ingredient information. Then, like I said, lift it up. Bottle sits right in there. And actually on the inside, if you can make that out, it is cushioned. So it's got this velvet cushion all the way around, helps protect the bottle a little bit more. And then my batch code is printed right down here on the bottom right side of the box. And here we have the bottle. Now I'm not sure how this is coming across on camera, but it's a very dark blue. It might look a little black on camera, I'm not sure. You've got the name of the house, name of the fragrance right here on front. It is a little bit different than some of the previous Amouage bottles, because most of them had the name of the fragrance right up here or written here on the side, but here it's just right there at the front. Cap is magnetic, as you can see right there, and it also looks a little bit different on the bottom. You've got the concentration and the size right there, and your badge code is written in black ink right here in the middle, so I know you can't see that, but it's right here. And I'll go ahead and waste a couple sprays for you guys and actually just spray it on myself. There we go. So I believe that this is the first flanker that Amouage has done in their Man line. So first, obviously, there was Interlude, and now there's Interlude Black Iris. And this has gotten a pretty good reception. If you look on Fragrantica, lots of positive reviews. There are some people who say that you don't really need this if you have the original Interlude, and some people are saying that this is an inferior version, essentially, of the original, and I'll try to touch on that a little bit from my viewpoint. When I first spray this on, I've got to tell you guys, I absolutely love the opening here. It's resinous, it's a little bit smoky, it's sweet, it's a little bit dark, but it is much more wearable than the original Interlude, though it is close to the original Interlude for sure. And if you're familiar with that fragrance, you're going to pick that up right away as soon as you spray this on, which is not really a surprise. It is, after all, Interlude Black Iris. That incensey smokiness here is dialed back. You notice that right away. There's a touch of violet, touch of bergamot in the opening, but those are fleeting, and really most people probably won't even pick up on those notes at all. One of the big differences between the original Interlude and this one is that this fragrance has no oregano, and you'll actually see countless people mentioning that. And while there is a nice spiciness to this fragrance, having that oregano removed does make it less overwhelming, if you want to call it that, in the opening of the fragrance. And actually for me, Interlude Black Iris almost feels like it starts in the heart notes of the fragrance. The top is gone so quickly that it's like it starts right there in the heart. So it's very rich, it's balsamic, like I said, resinous. The OLIBANUM and the MYRRH are right there, front and center, right as soon as you spray it on. And that's gonna lead me into the big difference, other than the oregano, with this fragrance versus the original Interlude: the iris. Yeah, the iris. It's not a lipsticky iris to me, so it doesn't come across that way. More so, the iris here softens the edges of the fragrance a little bit, slightly freshens the scent up a little, and gives a velvet kind of undertone to the fragrance, this velvety feeling that carries throughout. There's also a leather note in here that provides a base that the iris and the resins and everything kind of play off of. The leather is there for most of the life of the fragrance, but it's never really the star of the show. You can pick it up, but it's not overwhelming. After that opening blast, the opening salvo of this hits your nose and it kind of settles down, it stays pretty consistent for a while. So it doesn't change a whole lot through the mid. Once this one dries down, it becomes more of a spicy, woody kind of scent, and that's going to be from oud, sandalwood, and cedar, providing that woodiness. Now when I say oud, don't worry, not fecal, not animalic, just a dark, woodsy, spicy scent. It does still have some of that incensey, smoky kind of vibe going on all through the dry down. Again, not as much as in the original Interlude, though definitely reined in, dialed down, muted a little bit. And that pretty much is Interlude Black Iris, how it comes across. Now let's talk about the performance. For me, it is still a beast, so that's a good thing. Even though the fragrance has been softened, even though it has been reined in a little bit, even though it's not as divisive, it's not as powerfully aggressive in the opening, it's still a really, really strong fragrance, stronger than most anything else out there. Longevity for me, 10+ hours, no issues, so can't complain about that. Projection, really strong, especially in the first couple hours. It is not as strong as the original Interlude, but it doesn't really need to be. It's still very strong. It's well above average in terms of projection and longevity. It is, because of that, more a fall and wintertime fragrance for me. If you wanted to really stretch it, you could wear it in spring, but fall and winter is going to be the best time in my opinion, and like the original Interlude, more of a nighttime scent than daytime. It's a little safer, a little easier to wear, a little more versatile than the original Interlude, but it's still maybe not a fragrance that I would consider a safe office scent. I think it's really not. You know better than I do how your workplace environment is. You know what will or won't fly there. But this one's really strong, and it does still have that smokiness. It has a lot of resins. It's got iris, leather, oud, these dark woods. So be aware of that. For me, it is potentially a very alluring night out fragrance. That's what I think it would be best suited for, that and casual wear. Though you could pull it off in formal situations as well. So what are my general thoughts on Interlude Black Iris? I love it. Yeah, it's probably not a big surprise because I've talked about it pretty well in this review. I really, really enjoy it. It gives you most of the things that you love about the original, but like I've mentioned, makes it more wearable. It is essentially a number of tweaks here and there made to the original. It's not drastically different. If you do have the original Interlude, this may be redundant for you. A lot of you out there who want a big change from Interlude are not going to be excited with this one. But if the prospect of having Interlude and turning it into a fragrance that you can wear in many more situations sounds good to you, absolutely 100% check it out. And also, if you're just getting into niche fragrances, maybe you don't have as much experience with them, then this one would likely be an easier step than the original Interlude as well. So is there redundancy between this one and the original? Yeah, absolutely there is. Is it worth owning both bottles? That's more a personal question. For me, yes. For a lot of you out there, it would be no. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for me with this one. If you smelled this fragrance, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Like I said, there is some redundancy with the original, but I love the original, and I love this one too. As always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.